Hey guys, thanks for tuning in for another installment of our Better FAQ video series. Today I want to talk a little bit about what is the first right of refusal. So the first right of refusal is going to always be related to giving the right to refuse something, usually related to equity. And by equity I mean ownership in a company, usually an LLC or a corporation. And the first right of refusal is actually really important for the remaining owners of the company. And so for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use the terminology of owners rather than shareholders, which would be applicable to a corporation, and instead of members, which would be applicable to a LLC. And quick note, pro tip, nonprofits do not have owners, so this would never be relevant to a nonprofit. So what is the first right of refusal? The first right of refusal is triggered in situations, and it's only triggered, this is not a default application of law. This actually has to be in your paperwork. Usually your shareholder agreement for your corporations or your operating agreement for your LLCs. And it's triggered when, let's say, I own a company with one other person and someone approaches me, just a third party, maybe it's a family member, a friend, another business owner. They approach me and they say, hey, I love your business. It seems like it's super valuable. I want to buy your ownership in it for $1 million or $1 billion, $1 million. And when they approach me to make that offer, a million or a billion, whatever, might sound really appealing, and I just want to sell them that ownership, get out of there. This is my paycheck. I'm out. I'm going to go sit on a beach somewhere. Not so fast. The right of first refusal is actually designed specifically for that situation. And the way that it actually operates typically is going to be when I receive that offer, instead of just selling that ownership, taking that check and bouncing, and then my business partner, the other owner of my company, all of a sudden has a new partner because that person bought me out and they then step into my shoes to become an owner with my other co-owner. And so the right of first refusal is actually really helpful to protect that other owner from all of a sudden, out of the blue, having a partner that they don't know, didn't know about, didn't want, whatever the case may be, and it gives them the option to refuse the right to purchase my ownership instead of that third party. All right, that might be confusing. Let's walk through what it would actually look like in practice. So, again, I own a business, one other co-owner. Let's say I own 25%, and someone approaches me to buy my 25% for $1 million. Well, before I can sell that 25% ownership for $1 million to that person, I have to first go offer that same purchase deal, so the same terms, same amount, $1 million for the same 25%. If there's any other details to the transaction, like they get this or I sell this or whatever, all of those terms. The same terms have to be offered first to the company, so the company can choose with its bank accounts to buy my 25% at $1 million instead of that third party. And then if the company decides for whatever reason, and look, practically speaking here, if it's me and one other co-owner, the company is just that other co-owner making that decision on behalf of the company since they would be the surviving owner. And so if the company decides, A, maybe it doesn't have the money, B, it doesn't want to buy that ownership, or C, maybe that other co-owner, they know that they personally want to buy my 25% and become the 100% owner of the company rather than that third party. So, on behalf of the company, that co-owner says, no, the company doesn't want to exercise its right of first refusal and in fact does want to refuse that purchase. And then next I have to go to that other owner. Or in a situation where your company has multiple owners, you have to offer that to all the other owners. And again, on the same terms as that third party offered to me, so $1 million for 25% here, I have to offer that to all the other owners. And if none of the owners or the owners collectively don't decide that they want to make that purchase and exercise their right to do so, then they refuse that. And then at that point in time, I can go back to that third party and I can sell them on those same terms, all of my 25%, and then I can bounce and go lay on that beach. And, I guess if the other owners of the company bought it, I can also go bounce and lay on the beach. But that is how a right of first refusal works, and also why it's so important for the owners that are going to survive that deal, that purchase, that offer, because they don't want all of a sudden to have an owner that they have to be a co-owner with or a partner with that they didn't know, didn't want, dislike, whatever the case may be. So, the long story short, right of first refusal operates in a situation where an owner receives an offer for someone to purchase their ownership, and they, as the co-owners, the people not receiving that offer, want to have the ability to preempt that purchase by the company purchasing or those co-owners purchasing. And if they don't want to exercise those options, the company or the other owners, then that party that received the offer can sell to the third party that made the offer. That's the right of first refusal. Hope this was helpful in figuring out your governance for your LLC or your corporation amongst your shareholders or your members. If the shareholder and member terminology is confusing, watch one of our other videos. We explain it all for you. Better FAQs. Thanks. Tune in again.